So undoubtedly, no other sport relies on the ocean as much as surfing does. It stands to reason the World Surf League organised some of the coolest events on the calendar. The J-Bay Open, for instance, takes its responsibility to protect our oceans very seriously. So ahead of World Oceans Day this coming Saturday, the WSL's non-profit arm called PURE announced that they will aim to be the first global sports organisation to go carbon neutral by the end of 2019. This year, we're joined by WSL Africa Operations Manager, Colin Fitch. Colin, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
So cool to have you here. Even better to be broaching this particular conversation. Carbon neutral. This is quite a big step. It sounds like, I think for any kind of event, this is going to be quite a difficult thing to achieve for an entire organization. Very complicated. Why take this step and what is it going to entail? How much of a step is this?
Oh, it's a huge step globally, especially from, the oceans are our playgrounds, they're our stadiums, so from WSL standpoint, and especially PURE standpoint, it's really important that we address this issue and send a message to the rest of the world that this is the way we should be going.
We don't have a choice anymore. We've reached critical mass with plastic, with our oceans, with the way that we are living as human beings. It's one thing in principle to agree and kind of have the motivation. It's another thing to actually achieve it. How are you going to be going about achieving this carbon neutral footprint?
Yeah, well, if you just have a look at our employees, we've reduced the amount of travel that we do in terms of bringing staff in and that to event. We also, as an organization, we don't use any plastic at our events. It's either pure paper, or every single one of our employees got their own little water can that they use. We also carry our own eating utensils, believe it or not. We carry our own little wooden utensil bag around the world and don't use plastic straws. We're just completely trying to move away from any plastic that we can use at events.
And this is something that every single person out there can do. A small change, when you start to compound that, it really can make a difference. Of course, it's all about creating awareness as well, and we've been given a beautiful opportunity with World Oceans Day happening. And I understand that there is going to be a global paddle out on the 15th of June on International Surfing Day. Is there going to be one here in South Africa?
Yeah, we're doing it in conjunction with the Volkswagen VW Open, South African Open, down in Port Elizabeth. And we're going to get as many surfers as we can in the Port Elizabeth area, just to come and do a paddle out in the ocean, just to show the sport. This is not just here in South Africa, but watching earlier on and watching that the fact that there's 43 countries in South Africa.
It's going to be awe-inspiring, yeah.
Wow, man, nothing could be better. But we've got Morocco, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and so many of those other countries who've put their hand up to join us on the 15th. That it's really, really good. So, we're encouraging just people, groups of organizations to go to pure.org and sign up for Oceans Day and, put your name against it and support us.
You are literally putting your money where your mouth is now, and I think this ideally is going to send a message to other organizations, other sporting codes. Just to give an indication of the motivation, you live in the ocean pretty much. The extent of the damage that you've experienced in what you've seen through your organization's work, just how bad is the situation?
If you look at some of the areas which are now really cleaned up, places like Bali, it was just amazing how much you were actually surfing with trash. I was in Senegal a couple of months ago, and it's exactly the same thing. There's no recycling plants in Senegal, so the plastic there's just all over the place. So yes, it's really important. One of our championship tour surfer, Ace Bachen's got a policy of bring home 3 pieces of trash every time you go surfing. So that really resonated around the world. So every time surfers go out for a paddle, whether they're walking up the beach or they leaving, pick up 3 pieces of plastics and take it home. Get rid of it.
I've started doing it when I walk my dogs. Everyone can do something like that. Colin, we absolutely love what you guys are doing. Now, you guys have an opportunity to check out some of the big names in surfing, adding their names to support for this incredible initiative. Take a look.
I'm Carissa Moore, and I'm taking the WSL PURE Pledge
to stop trashing waves.
Every action counts to help save our ocean.
Join the global paddle out on International Surfing Day on June 15th to show your support.
Yep, go and show your support. You can join fellow surfers and, in fact, the broader global community by showing your commitment to saving our oceans and hashtag Stop Trashing Waves. Head on over to wslpure.org to make the pledge, and then if you can, go and paddle out on the 15th of June this year in Pollock Beach in Port Elizabeth. It's going to be spectacular, so go and have yourself heard. It is vitally important. Colin, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks very much for having me.